Howdy y'all, happy Thanksgiving. We are going to be making our grandma's bread today, and we're trying to adjust the camera so you can see our cute little aprons. These are our aprons that our cousin Bridget gave us. You can see the recipe a little different on here and on me, but we're going to work on this camera position. But Bridget, our cousin Taff from Orange, Texas, she and her daughter Stacy made these for us for Christmas last year, and since this is our Thanksgiving specialty that we always do, it was our first time to use them. And as you can tell, we are COVID safe. It's hot under here, even though it's snowing outside. So we have our Dr. Oz purple gloves, and we have our N95 mask. And our grandmother grew up in Taylor in Hutto, Texas, and this was a bread that she always made at Thanksgiving, and we just always called it Grandma's bread. I don't know if it's because we use Grandma's molasses, but it was our grandmother's recipe, and here's the recipe, and we'll be happy to send you a copy of the apron so you can see it, because there's a few steps, but if you've made bread before, and we only do it once a year, so we don't mind, right? Okay, so Cynthia does all the work, and I roll and pinch. I'm the roll and pinching girl. So we're going to tell you the ingredients here. So
tell them what's in there.
This is 1.5 cups of water. Okay, here we go. 1.5 cups of water right here. Very hot water, so we're going to put that in the microwave. We've got 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, we don't have there's a tablespoon of salt. We have 1/2 cup of molasses. You can see the molasses is down here. And we are going to put this in the microwave.
Brown sugar.
Is brown sugar in here? No, the brown sugar's there.
Okay, put it in.
Brown sugar's supposed to be in here? Okay. And then this is 1/4 cup of brown sugar that we thought we'd be really fancy and already get it, measured out. Okay, so we're going to stick this in the microwave. The salt, I thought that was in the dried ingredients. Okay? And then we've got a tablespoon, where is it? A tablespoon of salt. Okay?
And that way it can all dissolve.
So then this is all going to dissolve in the microwave because we need this water really hot, because we're going to put our yeast in 1/4 cup of water, and we want that to be hot. We're going to put this in the microwave first. Okay.
Not even a minute.
So why don't you talk to him about other stuff?
Right, so we have we have 2 tablespoons of yeast, or 2 packets.
Yeah, 2 packages of yeast, which we figured is about 2 tablespoons.
And we're going to put that in 1/4 cup of hot water, of warm water.
Yep, so here's our 1/4 cup. So we needed this measuring cup already for something else, so that's why we're just now getting our...
And the reason why you need it in a cup, because this yeast...
but this doesn't need to be warm. That's not warm yet.
Well, in here...
It ain't warm. You know it's ice cold outside. It's snowing. It's going to take a while. But we needed how about if I just stick this in with the microwave
Here,
and let it ride?
No, look,
For the next 15 seconds. It is not cold. I know my water, okay?
So you're not going to have it too hot to kill it. So I just use really hot water out of the faucet.
But my water has to come from underneath the house, and it's snowing outside.
From the garage.
Yeah, from the garage. So
Okay.
I'm going to scoot over this way a little bit.
Well, that water should be done.
Well,
And if you've made bread, we're just going to sprinkle this in the water and just put a pinch of sugar. And then the reason why I use the 1 cup measuring cup is because it's going to foam up. And if we're too lagging behind, it sometimes foams over the whole cup.
yeah, so we're good with that. That's about what you need, isn't it?
Not high enough. Well, maybe.
We're doing that other, remember?
So we're just sprinkling this in here. And then I just swish it around.
With a plastic glove finger.
Well, no,
Right?
I don't do that because
Oh.
I don't want to waste it. Just swirl it around like that until Eva decides to stick her finger in it. So now it's all on the edge of the cup, but this isn't not professional. So we need a pinch of sugar on top of that.
And I don't have my sugar out. I have everything else out.
I think we need to start over.
We've already gotten.
Should clean the kitchen up before we were finished. Look at our beautiful new storage.
Yes, my new thing here. Okay, what do we need? Just a pinch.
Yep.
You can pinch here with that hand.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how it is with sugar, the yeast needs the sugar to start activating.
So I wouldn't put your finger in it or anything, just stir it in the cup like that. Where you don't have gummy like that.
Anyway, it'll work.
Because she stuck her finger in it. Anyway, it'll work. You know, hey, we got two sisters in the kitchen.
That still doesn't look like that's hot enough.
No, because the butter will start melting.
I know.
So you want enough hot water, and the reason why we put all that in, because it was going to be easier just to heat it all up at one time.
But apparently it hasn't done that yet. Easier. Okay, so we're letting this, we just kind of set this off to the side. You know how yeast is, so kind of set that off to the side. You can see it's already starting to bubble up. But our grandmother had diabetes, and she lost her leg to diabetes, and she used to stand up. It's gonna make me cry. Stand up on one leg and make this bread.
Hop around in her little
Hop around
kitchen.
in a little bitty kitchen. She didn't have anybody else to help her. She didn't have a KitchenAid water. I always say I can water ski behind my KitchenAid mixer because it's the big ass kind. She didn't have that. She just, I don't even know if she had a mixer. If she did, maybe it's an old hand mixer or something.
Yeah, probably.
And she would knead it and then just set it in the window to rise, because in Texas at Thanksgiving it's hot. Well, we have to put ours in the laundry room with a heater on because it's cold here.
That's our proofing room.
Yes, we
And
have
the
a
reason
proofing
why
room.
I'm standing up and sitting back down is because I have a little ailment.
Okay, but we're not talking about
rest.
ailments right now, so she just has to take a little rest. But we've got
just
this
telling
done.
you why
Okay.
I'm hopping
Well,
up
it's
and
okay. She can sit down if she
Can
wants
you
to.
stir that?
Here's
with
our,
a spatula?
Yep. Here's
Get
our
that down
molasses. Just tell them what all's in there while I dig for the
here. I
spatula.
did. So it's 1.5 cups of hot water, which, you know, we did in the microwave, brown sugar, molasses, and butter and salt. So,
And you don't want that to get too hot because it'll kill your yeast.
well,
You
we're
know,
going to
because
put
we're gonna
the
add
flour in there. We don't want the flour to cook
Yeah.
from that being too hot.
Okay.
So you might stick your finger without a glove.
No, I
on
can see how
here.
hot it is. I can see the
Okay.
see.
It's too
Okay,
hot.
so next what we're doing is now we're going to start with the flour part. Okay, so we've already got this part. So we start out with 2.5 cups of flour. So we just dump the flour in this bowl. We're not like Brenda Gant. We don't keep this bowl out all the time. And I know my sister Phyllis Bowles, her mother-in-law, Mrs. Arlene Bowles, used to have a drawer, I think, because people back in the South used to do that. They just kept their flour in a bowl. But I don't want to do that. So anyway, there's Cynthia. She's on a stool now, so she'll be more comfortable. So now we're going to start measuring. And so she starts out with 2.5 cups of flour. Okay, you want me just to measure that and put that in there?
Yeah.
Okay, using my COVID glove hand. Okay, so there's one. There's
Don't pack it
2.
down in
Okay, that's 2, and
there. A half.
Here's
you
a half.
can do a half.
now here we'll just do a half. Okay,
All right.
all right. So we're gonna start out with that. And what's next?
Normally, that's where would you put the hot water in, and the butter and everything, but she's got it cooking over there instead.
Well, we decided to put it all together in one thing.
Well, wait, make sure it's
Woo! Well, that's what I told
too
you.
hot. Okay, go sit it down the patio table.
We might have to pause right now here, I think. Okay, well, we had to have a little side cooling off outside. Okay, so like again, we said, this is our molasses and our, that's our water and our yeast, which is, look at that, how that's doing. See, that's exactly what you want that to do if you've ever made bread before. You want your yeast rising. Okay, and this is our butter and our brown sugar and our molasses. And we're going to put this in after we've already put 2.5 cups of flour.
I need to rise it up.
I will as soon as I get through pouring
No,
this
I
in
need
here.
to turn this on.
Is that good? Here's your spatula if you need it.
No, don't need it. Her arm right on my face.
Yeah, well, I got a big arm. Okay, so we're pouring this in here, and
Go ahead faster. Remember, because usually the 1.5 cups are in here.
okay. All right.
Now this will be 3.5 cups.
Okay, so now we're going to put 3.5 cups of flour.
No.
I thought it starts out saying 5 to 6 cups, because after we make this kind of like a batter, like pancake batter almost, now we're going to start making a cake batter.
So we have 2.5 cups of
2.5 cups
flour
already with our
So
liquid ingredients.
That will make the 3.5 cups.
Okay.
Just a little bit at a time.
And we do have one of those little flour attachments, but
That's good.
okay.
So then, let's put another half in there, and then we'll be right at 4. See where it's starting to separate?
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Now we're gonna let that turn into,
Kind of a little thicker,
no, it's
maybe
perfect.
brownie batter. No, I'm trying to give them a
Yeah, brownie
because I
batter.
can't show you inside here, but
Okay.
maybe like a batter like brownies are made out of. Okay. Okay.
I'll put that down, and we're gonna put the dough hook on.
Okay. So now we're gonna do the dough hook. So
Now you can show them that batter.
so you can see that's kind of sticky. Okay, like peanut butter. There you go. Okay, got to clean the batter off. This is not a batter you want to lick. It's not that I would want to lick, but anyway, you know, it's bread dough. It's not cookie dough. Okay, so
There we go.
now we're gonna put luckily I have this cute little sink right here. Get my gloves all washed off. And, woo, look at that yeast going. See that? Wow.
That's fixing to go in here.
Okay, look, we want to put the dough hook on, so let me do that. Not everybody's as fortunate as we are either to have a dough hook.
We're gonna fill in this dough.
Well, I'm sure it's fine. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a done deal. Okay, now we're turning the dough hook on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how much do you want?
What cups are we at?
Well, you were supposed to be counting.
4.
Okay, so 4. Okay, so now we're at 5.
No, that's 4. Isn't it?
This is why I wanted to pre-measure.
And the orange. Now the orange peel.
It says add 5 1/4 or 6 cups more than what we already added.
Just trust me. I've been making
Okay.
this a long time
Okay, well,
without
then
reading the without reading
Don't
the,
ask me. Okay, what's next?
the orange peel.
This is the most important part, is orange peel, okay? And you need to cut it up like about this size, all right? So like, I don't know, a Baptist wafer cracker. You ever, you know, Baptist church? Communion cracker. That is most important. Well, most important.
Now it's cooled down enough. Fill the bowl
Yep, it's still warm, but okay.
to put the yeast in.
Okay, so now we're
Have
gonna,
a baby spatula.
okay, so now we're gonna put the yeast in. You wanna turn that off or not? Okay, so this beautiful foamy yeast. And when I used to make this without Cynthia, when I didn't live here and I lived in Newport Beach, California, and I would try to make it, well, I would kill the yeast because, you know, it's a lot. I'm left-handed. So I would call her and go, oh my gosh, what have I done? I've messed this up. Because I couldn't get it to rise. Well, it was because my water was too hot. So that's why we had to cool our water down. So, because it tasted good, but it didn't look very good. Like a big old foot. It didn't rise.
What do you call it?
Arthropod.
Some kind of a pot.
Okay, so pod means foot. All right, turn that on. We're good. How many? We're at a minute and, oh, we're at 14 minutes. We might need to stop this for a minute.
For what?
Okay, well, I don't know how long we can put a video on Facebook or whatever we're going to try to do.
No, we can't.
Okay,
So
how
another
much more?
cup of flour. Around the edge,
Okay,
not plop in the middle. See where we want it to start pulling away from the sides. That left hand.
I know. My grandmother was left-handed. She managed to survive with it. Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna stop this, lift this up.
Well, it doesn't lift. Never mind. It's like
Okay.
this.
And then, can you see? I guess you can't see, but we're
But you know, it's just kind of, it's like it's starting to get pulling away from
pulling away from the sides with the
dough hook.
Yeah.
So we're in the dough hook
So
stage.
we're trying to make it into a ball.
But we're still a little dry here.
Just pull it away from the sides because it needs to be kneaded some more.
Okay, well, can't sit on top of you.
Can you do that finger? There we go.
Okay.
How's it feeling?
Good. But it's real dry.
Well,
I'm too far away from you.
We'll do it this way. It'll get sticky again. We just don't want too much flour in there, and I think we forgot our count.
Yeah. Oh, but she's been making it for a very long time,
No,
so she
look
didn't need a
how
recipe.
perfect it is.
Okay, well.
You don't want little tiny bit more flour just to get that away. Okay?
I think a tiny bit more kneading. It's not. Here, let's stop it and let me take it off the thing.
Well, no, push this in. There we go.
This is the I Love Lucy and Ethel.
No, that's perfect. Now take that off, and
Oops, sorry.
now we need to dump this out on a floured surface.
Okay. Well, my floured surface didn't get
Prepped yet?
prepped yet because it was part of my kitchen that I needed the other stuff. So, we're going to close this right now.